if we look for the lessons in everything in our life, we realize how much we are calling that in for ourselves, for our highest good, for from our highest self. An example of this would be recently my daughter was having not a good day, and I was in the kitchen, kind of like making dinner, and she was being really difficult and really disrespectful and just out of character, really, for her. And I was, apparently so mean every time I asked her something to do, something for me to help me, pick up her toys or whatever, and or her mess. And I was just so horrible and so mean. And I was like, what's going on? So I dialed into her, and as she was crying, I just kind of heard this, like, because there was no real like reason. She was like, I had a bad day at school. And I was like, well, you didn't say that when you got in the car. Like, what happened? All I could hear was, like, as she was continuing to talk, I was like, wah, my life is so horrible. It's all me. She was victimizing herself, and I couldn't stand hearing it. And I was like, okay, stop. So I comforted her for a second, and then I was like, okay, but look, I just want you to know something. I explained to her what a victim was, and I said, basically, like, we are not that. No one in this family is a victim. No one is a victim of anything, honestly, if you really look at it, because and I teach her every day, most days at least, like, I reiterate at least the idea that she's in control of her life. Like, we are the ones running our lives. We are the ones choosing the things that happen to us, and because of what we choose, as a result of that, we have consequences, and we have things that happen or go good for us, like. So essentially, she understands. She's 8. She understands that we are the orchestrator of our life. So I reminded her of that, and I was like, look, that means that you get to choose to see the things the way you want to see them. And if you're going to wallow in that, if you're going to see things badly because you don't want to do something that I'm telling you to do, or the teacher, does some of the same things and asks you to do something, whatever. If you choose to see it that way, you're going to make yourself miserable. And I, like, really stand on that a lot with myself. Like, I don't want to sit in my negative energy. I don't want to sit in the things that I see that are bad in my own life. I very much subscribe to love and light ideas and optimism, really, normally, but, like, sometimes I get down too, and sometimes I get really in there. And I used to sit in it for weeks and months and let it just consume me. And now I've over the last probably 5 years or so, I've tried to, I've accomplished this. I've not gone back into chronic depression and, like, really wallowing in that, and I've taken control of that. However, my current life situation, it doesn't reflect ultimately what I want in my life. And I've been sitting in that, becoming the victim. And I didn't even realize that. And this is why I called this situation in, because she's not like that normally. She's a very happy kid. And so it was strange for me. And I was happy to, like, set her back on track. But it was my lesson. It was something that I needed to hear again, that I needed to point out to myself. And it's funny the way that God works, the universe works like that. Like, we are constantly calling in things because we're here on, like, a earth school, like, trying to ascend our soul and trying to grow our souls to a higher level, to reach that. I don't even know what we're reaching for, honestly, but up leveling in some way. I'm sure that that's what it is. And this is just a tool, a plane that we use to do that, to learn lessons. And we come back and we come back, we gather karma, and we keep practicing. It's just all for this infinite amount of mirrors that we are calling in. So, like, everybody around me that I've ever known, or in the past or in my future, and everybody in spirit, everybody that's passed away, ancestors, any of my spirit guides, it's all me. It's all myself guiding myself to a higher plane, to a easier path in life, to a more enjoyable path, something that I can enjoy. We're here to enjoy Earth. We're here to enjoy this life, right? It is very easy for us to just sit and look at all the bad things and look at all of the trouble and all of the things that we feel like we can't control, and become part of the river of it, like, instead of being like, oh wait, I can stand up here. Like, it's not too deep for me to swim. That was so profound for me, because now, over the last week after that happened, I have been actually making decisions. And I've been scared of making decisions my whole life. Like, I have been stagnant in a lot of different times of my life because of my lack of ability to decide definitively, because I was never choosing myself. And I thought I was, and I really, really wasn't. And it showed because every decision I made, or even in my options that I would present to myself, I would see that they're not focused on me or my happiness or what I really, really want. And I was always considering someone else, especially after I had a kid. Like, I was always making sure that everyone else was going to be happy, or that I wasn't going to let somebody down, or wasn't going to. It was always about what they thought of me or what they thought about the situation, that I wanted to make sure and control and make sure and keep on the up and up, I guess. And in reality, that has always blown up in my face and it never works out. And I was ending up miserable. So I was propelled by this situation and these thoughts to make those decisions, to choose me finally, that I do have control. It doesn't matter what might happen in the middle of me getting to a certain goal. For instance, this is changing my life in quite a drastic way. And I'm I was looking at it as a setback, and I was looking at it as like a disadvantage and something that I was going to have to deal with, and something that I wasn't going to enjoy. It was like, hello, it's just for a second. It's just temporary, because after that, you're going to be super empowered. You're going to be super happy. You're going to be on the path that you want to be on. You're going to live in a new way. The setbacks are only divine intervention to rearrange your life on the right path for the better, always for you. Everything's happening for you. That's something I told my daughter too. Like, this is not happening to you. We're doing this to help you, or like lessons that we're trying to teach her. It's not what she wants to do, but it's like, this is for your own good. And my parents used to tell me that when I was little too and younger, and didn't understand why they wouldn't let me go to the party or wouldn't let me go do this or whatever. My point is that we are constantly bringing in these lessons for ourselves. And we are the ones orchestrating our own lives. We are the reason that everything is the way it is. I am the I am. I am the commander of my world. I am the creator of my universe, the co-creator with spirit, with the universe, with God, with the creator. I am co-creator. I am running this place with God. There's so many things that we know are true. We know to be true, especially in the spiritual community. There's a lot of people really living that, and that's great if you can maintain that, and wonderful. But like, I think that there's more people that know these things, and that like we really know them, like we know them to be true, these facts of life, these laws of the universe, the manifestation techniques, everything like that, like the fact that we can make things happen with our minds, right? We know this stuff, but the amount of times that we actually act on that is more rare than it is done. Like, I've done it a couple times in my life where I actually brought something in purposely and like knowingly. But I've always known this is true since I was probably 15, 16. Yeah, I'm a really practical thinker, like I really concrete, like I'm a heavy Virgo energy, very linear thinking, very evidence-based, like factual thinker. And that's how I like have my conversations and my like arguments or anything like that. Like, I stand on what I believe in, and if I don't know for sure, I won't argue. I know what I know, in other words, and I know what I don't know. I can say that I believe these things, and I do on some level. But the fact that I don't fully act on them, the fact that I don't fully push through all of that constantly, I believe it, but I don't really believe it. Like, I don't really know. And that's a faith issue. Like, I felt like I had faith in God to like always take care of me, because if I look at my reality, like, I've never not been taken care of. It might not be ideal, and I might struggle for a minute, but there's never a time that I don't have what I need. Inside those times where I don't have what I want, it's lessons that I need to look at in a different way. I need to learn them like that. It's time. Right now, like, everything has shifted so much, and we're in a different frequency where our manifestations are coming faster. And so are our consequences. And I don't want to doom myself for the next 15, 20 years to live in the cycles that I was living in. So, like, if you are going to subscribe to the negativity and the sky is falling ideas, like, it's going to fall on you, and you're going to stay in that this time. because of where we're at, because of our ascension, because of our evolution as a species. Like, we're looking at a whole different paradigm right in front of us. And I don't want to create that negative space for myself moving forward. I know that this is not, I'm not the only one that struggles with this. I'm not the only one that thinks this way. So I just wanted to remind you, like, you are in control of your life. You are the one that makes these decisions. You are the one that calls in these lessons. You are the one, the I am that is. You are all that is. Like, for me, I struggled with that theory for a little while because it was like, am I the only conscious mind? Am I the only one here? Is have I really, like, over all my reincarnations and everything, have I been every single person that I've ever met in my life and will meet and have whatever and know right now, and then in spirit, all of those lessons, those are all me. Everything is me. Everything's coming from myself. So am I the only one here? That used to trip me out so much. But if I shift away from that and like just realize how much power that is and how much, like, how magnificent that is, that I have all the control, why am I choosing suffering at all? This is my world. I'm the main character. I don't want to live my life the way I'm living it. So I'm going to stop living it like that instead of just making excuses and making reasons why I have to result to this, or reasons why I'm doing this or whatever, and being a victim. I am not a victim, and neither are you, and neither is my kid, neither is your kid, neither is anybody. We have that control. Just wanted to remind you because it was so profound for me. Anyway, thanks for listening.